Hello everybody, Chris here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can install a virtual operating system on side of Ubuntu. And we're going to be using a program called Boxes for this, which is a simple virtual management program, much in the same line as Hyper-VM or Oracle VirtualBox. Took me a second to remember the names there. So anyway, if you don't have this installed, you can pick it up in the Ubuntu Software app, which is generally located over here on the launcher bar. If you don't see it there, you can just type it in the search, Ubuntu, and it should pop up there. And once you have it installed, we can go ahead and boot that up. So Boxes. And yes, it's a pretty simple app here, so it's relatively straightforward. Up here in the top left, we have New, so we want to go ahead and click that. Select a file, and then locate where you have an ISO installed. So the ISO is going to be for Windows or Ubuntu, something like that. And in my case, I have it located in the download section. You can, of course, download it from offline if you're installing another version of Linux, as we're going to do here. So Ubuntu 16.04, double-click that. And then it's going to give you some basically default settings for it, automatically recommending, oh, okay, we'll have 2 gigabytes of RAM while it's running and a disk size of 21.5 gigabytes, which is more than enough. So we'll go ahead and hit create here in the top right-hand corner. And from there, it's going to basically boot straight up into the installation interface where we can install the operating system as normal. Would essentially go the same way if you were doing Windows. So we'll go through the process here, and then we'll be able to see it running in action. If you've already basically installed Linux before, you probably don't need to see all of these steps, but I'll go through it anyway. So when you boot up into Ubuntu for installation, it pops up with this install menu. So we can do install Ubuntu. Optionally, download updates while installing. We'll just skip that for now to save some time. I guess I'll choose the third-party software for graphics. So we'll go with that and hit continue. And from here, it's just going to progress us through the installation, which isn't too complicated. So because this is a virtual disk, it's actually okay to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. Because remember, this is a file that's located on our real operating system. It's a virtual drive inside of the real drive, inside of the real hard drive partition. So I'll just choose that option and install now. It'll give you some information basically saying, hey, this stuff's going to be permanently formatted. Are you okay with using that for Ubuntu? In this case, we're fine. It's something that's completely expendable. One of the nice things about virtual drives, if you don't already know, is that because they're basically just a temporary installation that you can copy between hard drives or whatever, they're usually very expendable. So if you break something on the virtual drive, it's perfectly fine. Go ahead and hit continue here. Choose your language, in this case English. Yep, and make sure you have the dialect too. Here we'll just use English US. Continue. Your name, well, Chris, of course, in my case. It's a little bit more laggy. Alright, so I just went ahead and jumped ahead a little bit to get to the end of the installation. Once you see the bars moving, you can pretty much just leave it alone and go grab a coffee. So we're going to restart this virtual box right now. And once it loads up, we will be able to log into Ubuntu and use it pretty much the same way as this parent Ubuntu is. It's like Ubuntuception, Ubuntu within Ubuntu. So in my case, it seems to be taking a little bit longer than normal, so I'm going to go ahead and force shutdown in this menu to the top right. And we will go ahead and relaunch it. Ubuntu